Hey guys, I'm Mike Bills with Measurable Solutions, and this is Whiteboard Wednesday. And today we are going to be talking about toxic staff and how to deal with them. And that might hit home for a lot of people. I know I've had some toxic staff, people that I thought really were great people that started out with me. I thought they were loyal to me, etc. And as we started growing, I really got to see who the real people were, and they were toxic staff. And toxic staff are those people who, they pee in the pool and they do other things in the pool and, stuff like that. And they're always kind of that brick that's holding you back. They're putting the brakes on while you're trying to put the gas on. They're burning the rubber and not really getting anywhere. And so it's really a process that you as the owner, you as the manager, you really have to kind of confront, and you have to not be afraid of them. Toxic staff, we're afraid that they're going to kind of stick to us, and it's that whole thing when we were kids and the cooties, right? They've got the cooties and, just stick them over there, let them do whatever they want to do, etc. And the thing you have to realize is that toxicness, it spreads throughout your staff. You have this happy group, you get this person that comes in, they're whining and moaning and complaining, they don't like things, and before you know it, that virus is spread. And everybody on your staff may not be unhappy about the same thing that toxic person is unhappy about, but that toxic person makes everybody else sick in some way, shape, or form. They start being unhappy about something else, their own thing, and before you know it, your group of people that was a nice, tight-knit group is now kind of this disbanded group, and you got all these players that are working against each other. Nobody's really on a common purpose. So get those toxic staff and get them handled. And the way you really deal with them is you lay out some expectations, right? So you got to let your staff know from day one that they start with you, what are the expectations? And that could be real simple. It could be, I want you to see 60 visits a week. I want you to get, 96% of your patients to arrive, whatever it might be. And as you grow, that list of expectations is going to increase. But the huge benefit to that expectations is when they start acting up and they've got a little tiny bit of toxicness to them, you can come back to that expectation and go, hey, where is this on that list? I don't see where your disagreement with this or whatever it is there. And the second thing you gotta get in place is you can't waver. You've got to confront those staff. You let them walk into that staff office, you let them walk into the back. Before you know it, your patients know about it, your front desk are knowing about it, everybody's kind of knowing about it, and before you know it, your group is starting to disband. Look at your unsuccessful sports teams, the ones that have this toxic player on them who kind of gets everybody fighting and things just aren't going well, right? And the third thing you got to do is you got to have a process, a written process for handling those people. Unfortunately, in many cases, you're going to end up kind of nixing out that toxic person and getting rid of them. You're going to ask them to leave. You're going to have to fire them, whatever, if reminding them of their expectations doesn't get them back on board. And nowadays, you have to have a written process that's going to protect you. Because if that toxic person is there and they leave, their toxicity is still going to come back to haunt you. So make sure everything you do with them is in writing, that you've got a process for handling it, and that process is something that works for you, and that it gives you the results that you're looking for. And in the end, you keep toxicity out of your staff by keeping expectations in, you confronting everything right away when it starts to happen, and them knowing that there's a process, a written process, that pretty much usually keeps everybody on board and behaving like good children and keeping everybody happy. So get these things in place. Don't let that toxicity into your practice. Don't let it stay there when it's there, and you're going to have a much happier practice and a much happier group of employees. So again, I always like to see what people have to say about the Whiteboard Wednesdays. Give us a comment in the section below, and we will see you for next week's Whiteboard Wednesday, which is always on Wednesdays. Thanks. Have a good day.